Right, yes, people, how you all doing? Welcome back to C&C Football Vlogs. Today it is the very anticipated round 4 of the FA Cup predictions. Again, another great part of the tournament. We've seen round 3, a lot of drama happen there. We got a lot of predictions right, we got a lot wrong, but it is what it is. We're in the middle of that. But yeah, can't wait to share with you what I think will happen. And as always, sit back and relax. Right, starting first with a very big game, it is Man United versus the Foxes, Leicester City. Old Trafford, it is 12 v 17. Obviously, Amorim's not got off to the best start of Man United, but I do think that with the situation, you can't blame him too much. I mean, he's made a lot of comments recently. You know, he said that he's 40 years old, but he feels 50 in such little time. So, there's clear something very wrong. Also, for Leicester, Ruud van Nistelrooy returns to face his former club and the former team he was with until recently. So this is a very exciting game for him. We know that Ruud's he's bringing a little bit of consistency to Leicester, and with that, obviously, I think it's giving him a bit of inspiration to maybe survive and fight a bit more. So it's been a good appointment so far. Score wise, difficult game to predict. I personally think Leicester City will very easily win this one because Man United's main focus has to be on the league. So I'm going to say Man United 0, Leicester City 1. Controversial, but yeah. Right guys, up next it is Leyton Orient v Man City. I mean, it's the dream sort of title, Leyton Orient at Brisbane Road. Man City, the form has improved a little bit. They've not been beaten in 5 games in the Prem, so they'll be going into this game with a bit of confidence maybe. But one thing I will say is that Leyton Orient and Richard Wellens are doing a very good job. They're 6th in the league. They're chasing in the playoffs. They only came back up last season, and in such a short time they're making a real impact. And their attack is really good. We look at players like Charlie Kelman and Daniel Aggie. They're really making a difference up front. So I think they've got a chance at Orient, and I look at Wigan for example. We've beaten them a few times in League One ourselves, so I think you've got to bring that sort of into context. They are capable at Orient, but do I think they're gonna realistically beat them? Probably not. I think City are definitely favourites as they always are. They've won it so many times over the last 5 years. Prediction for this, I'm gonna say Leyton Orient 1, Man City 3. Right, we're getting through these very quickly. Third fixture of the weekend, it is Leeds United versus Millwall at Ellen Road. 2 very famous fan bases, both known for, I wouldn't say being hooligans, but they've not got the best reputation, but I won't get into that too much. But Leeds obviously sat first in the Championship, they've had a blinder of the season. They're very determined to go back up. Daniel Farke's doing a good job. Millwall, obviously Alex Neil, still quite new to the job. He's brought a bit of stability into the club. The 14th now, and obviously I've got a lot of respect for Alex Neil. Obviously, him like Daniel Farke, he also managed Norwich for quite a bit of time. He also was at Preston recently, and I did backing at Preston, Alex Neil. So, prediction wise, I'm gonna go. I think with Leeds, obviously the main focus is the league, so you think that Leeds might be a bit vulnerable in this game. Millwall can definitely pounce them out, but the prediction I'll go for, I'll say Leeds 2, Millwall 1. Right, 4th fixture, we've got Coventry City versus Ipswich at the Coventry Building Society Arena. It's still a mouthful to say after all these times. Coventry bang mid-table in the Championship, set 12th. Obviously, Frank Lampard's brung, again, a little bit of consistency and a bit of form, but nothing special. We look at Ipswich, 19th. Obviously, they're struggling a little bit with Kieran McKenna. He's not doing too much to help them, but still think that the fans like him and the ball back him, so I can't see his job being in danger too much. I think this is a close game, and actually Coventry are in a good chance. Got to bear in mind their incredible semi-final run last season where they only just lost to Man United on penalties. So I think Coventry deserve backing, and I'm going to back them. I'm going to say Coventry City 2, Ipswich 1. I think they're more than capable. It'd be a big win for them, and yeah, I think they're more than capable of maybe recreating what they did last season. Right, up next it is Preston North End versus Wycombe Wanderers from Deepdale. Preston at the time recording sat 15th, mid-table. They're not having a great season. They're doing okay, I guess. I suppose that Paul Heckingbottom brought a bit of spill to the club. but nothing special yet. Wycombe, obviously second, still a bit sore after losing Matt Bloomfield to Luton, and obviously we've got Sam Grace who's covering. I mean, whether he'll still be here next week, I don't know, but he's doing an okay job for the time being. Obviously, he's keeping them that spark alive with their the automatic playoff promotion hope. We look at Wycombe the last couple of weeks. Obviously, since Matt Bloomfield left, they got. Richard Kone has been. There's been multiple bids. They've rejected a lot of bids, so they'll hope he stays as he's been their difference maker this season. But still time for him to go. We look at Preston. Obviously, we got Middleton Osmajic, who is in the form of his life, arguably one of the best players in the EFL. Some would say probably a bit too good for Preston standards, but yeah. Score-wise here, I think Wycombe are more than capable of getting upset because the form is there. Preston, again, survival is their main focus. I'm not saying they will go down. They're in a stable position, but there's still a chance. So what I'll say is, this is a tough one. I'll say Preston 2, Wycombe 3. Right, up next it is Stoke City, the Potters versus Cardiff City, the Bluebirds, from the Bet365 Stadium. This is a very close game. We've got 20th in Championship versus 18th in Championship. Mark Robbins against Omer Rizza. Robbins is doing quite a good job. He hasn't been there long, but again, the form's not really there, to be honest. With Stoke, I wouldn't be surprised to go down. I think it's sad with Stoke because they've got a good team. Players like Emilio Manhuef and Lewis Kumas on for Liverpool, exciting players, but they aren't clean of this season. Whereas Cardiff, on the other hand, Cardiff could do a better job, really. Omer Rizza, obviously, he got appointed as permanent until the end of the season. Whether he'll stay for long term is yet to be seen. For this game, as I say, very close, and I think this is the first game which I think goes penalties, so I'll say Stoke City 2, Cardiff 2, and I think Cardiff would just edge it on penalties. Well, next we've got Southampton versus Burnley. Two teams that have been through very similar things. They've both been relegated recently, both been fighting for playoffs. Southampton found themselves 20th. They're struggling. I think they are very. It's very likely that they might break Derby's record of 11 points, and that obviously is not good enough, really. But you look at the recruitment, and I think the way they're playing, it's not good enough, really. With Burnley, they have very strong tenders to go back up and get the automatic spot. Fighting with Sunderland, I think that. Obviously, Ivan Juric has not done a very good job so far. I know that he's got limited resources. He's not really got much going for him, but I think he could do a lot better. Scott Parker's doing a good job. Obviously, his first season has been a big impact, taking over the company. In terms of the score here, I think this is Burnley's game, easily. So I'll say Southampton 0, Burnley 2. Bold prediction, but Southampton's form is not very convincing, so yeah, Burnley got this for me. Okay, up next it is Everton versus Bournemouth. The Toffees versus the Cherries, a very different combination there. From Goodison Park, obviously Goodison Park is of course the final season for Everton, and they'll be hoping to end it with a good cup run, I think, and a few more games at Goodison. So Everton's at 16th, Bournemouth 7th. Obviously, David Moyes, since coming in, he's done an okay job. I think there's, the fans seem very happy. I've got Everton fans in my family, and they all are very happy with the appointment of Moyes. With Bournemouth, the form that Andoni Iraola's got them in is very incredible. Last week they beat Forest 5-0 at the Vitality. So much going on with Bournemouth. It's been a wonderful season, and at the moment, you back them to beat any of the top 4 teams. But then again, with this fixture, Bournemouth will probably rest the team a little bit. Everton will go for this with a full team. So I think Everton might be able to find a bit of weakness there. So a bold prediction, I'm going to say Everton 1, Bournemouth 0. Up next, guys, we've got Wigan versus Fulham. Huge game for the Athletics from the break. I wouldn't say I'm the most confident, but I think in the FA Cup we've got a wonderful history in the FA Cup. We've had some brilliant cup runs over the last 10 years. In terms of Wigan, our form isn't very amazing at the moment. We're sat 16th, and Maloney, under a bit of pressure at the moment, but we've had a very good window in January. I think that's more than enough to get us something here. Fulham, obviously, with a lot of ex-Wigan players. We've got Anthony Robinson, we've got Martial Godot, who'll be hoping to come back and, well, cause an upset. Well, not cause an upset, but, cause a bit of a shocker. In terms of the game, I'm very split. For Wigan, it's massive for us, obviously. It's the first time for a while they played a Prem team, obviously, since that Man United game, which did us a lot of good. And this game won't do us as much good because we aren't getting televised. We probably won't sell out. But in terms of the result here, I'm of course I'm going to back Wigan, and I'm going to say Wigan 1, Fulham 0. I reckon we'll keep it defensive, and I reckon with 10 minutes to go we'll snatch a goal, probably from Dale Taylor or maybe even Rowan Darcy. Hopefully he can get a goal. But yeah, 1-0 Wigan, be a huge win. Right, up next, a very interesting game is Birmingham City versus Newcastle United from St Andrews. It is first in League One versus fifth in the Prem. This is going to be a real game, I think. This is going to be... there'll be a lot of goals. I think it'll be entertaining. I think Birmingham and Chris Davies are more capable of getting a result here. With Eddie Howe, Newcastle, obviously, the main focus is getting that top 4 finish, Champions League football, because they want it more than anything. With Birmingham, the main focus is, of course, the league, and they've got a chance to get in the league because their form, their team is very uncomparable to most teams in the Championship. Prediction-wise here, I think I'm going to say Newcastle... I'll say Birmingham 2, Newcastle 2, and I'll say that Newcastle would just edge it on penalties, but I think Birmingham will give it a good run. Players like Jay Stansfield, but then you've got Newcastle players like Isaac, Anthony Gordon, so yeah, very interesting game, and that's what I want to predict. Okay, up next, another interesting game. It is Brighton versus Chelsea from the Amex. It is, of course, 9th in the Prem against 6th in the Prem. Two teams that are very much... their form has decreased massively recently. We look at Brighton, who were top 5 for a good while, now they're 9th. Family Hurst's sides had a bit of an injury crisis and a bit of a downfall in terms of form. And then Chelsea, Chelsea was second less than a month ago, and now they're 6th. The form has decreased massively there. So... I think, Hurst v Maresca, it's a very tough game to predict. I reckon that Brighton will win this because Chelsea, again, I think their head will be focused on the league. I reckon it's going to be Brighton 1, Chelsea 0. It'll be a close game, but yeah, Brighton's going to win. Okay, next we got Blackburn Rovers versus Wolverhampton Wanderers from Ewood Park. It is 7th in the Championship. Blackburn are in very good form. The improvement that John Eustace has brought has been very much. It's gone more than noticed. With Wolves, obviously, Vitor Pereira struggling to take over from Gary O'Neill. They're still a team. They're still very much in contention to go down this season. I hope Wolves stay up because I do like Wolves. A good team. When they're with Nuno, but things have changed massively over the years. With Blackburn, more than capable, and I do think Blackburn won this. To be honest, I think they're in for a bit of an upset here. So I'm gonna say Blackburn Rovers 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Up next, guys, it is a very big game. It is Plymouth Argyle versus Liverpool. Two teams, good results. Obviously, Plymouth beat Brentford in round 3. Liverpool, of course, beat Accrington Stanley. I think it was 4-0 in the end. Yeah. From home part, Plymouth got the home game. They've got a big game. It's been televised, so I think. For me, on Mussel's side. His first real taste of FA Cup and the magic it brings. We're honest, but obviously they did well against Accrington, so I think they're more than capable of getting a result in Liverpool. They should be getting a result, really, let's face it. But Plymouth are capable. We look at players like Whittaker, who could cause a bit of a problem, I think. But I'll say, I think this is Liverpool's game. I'll say Plymouth 1, Liverpool 3. Up next, we've got Aston Villa versus Tottenham from Villa Park. It is 8th versus 15th. Obviously, Aston Villa, of course, beat West Ham, of course, in round 3. Tottenham, of course, only just beat Tamworth in the end. They got a bit lucky in the end, some would say. I personally think that Aston Villa will absolutely bash Tottenham because we look at Emery's form compared to Postecoglou's form. Postecoglou, how he's still there is beyond me. And I think, that could change in the next week or so because the form is getting progressively worse. So I'm going to say Aston Villa 3, Tottenham 0. I think Tottenham get absolutely battered. Okay, up next we've got one of the now lowest ranked teams left in the tournament is Doncaster Rovers versus Crystal Palace. Doncaster second, of course, in League 2. Strong favourites to go up the season back to League 1, which they want to be. He's doing a very good job at Grant McCann. With Crystal Palace, I think Glaston's doing an okay job. 13th, nothing special. But like I say, I mean, I think relegation is a thing that's past them now. They're certainly a bit more stable. There's more money coming to the club. They just need more signings, a bit more strength. And in terms of fixture, I reckon this is part of the game. I think as much as I want Doncaster to get the upset here, I don't think they're capable. I think it's going to be Doncaster 0, Crystal Palace 2. Up next is Exeter City versus Nottingham Forest at St James Park. Big game for Exeter. The big it's been a while since they had such a big cup run and also a big fixture like this. A Prem team comes to St James Park. I do think that Gary Caldwell is capable of getting a result. They're sat 17th. I mean they're in very similar form to Wigan, arguably. I do think that I think with Forest form though, they are third, and Nuno's doing a really good job. I think this is a tough one to predict. I really don't know. Exeter. I'll say Exeter 0, Nottingham Forest 1. It'll be a close game, but yeah, Forest take the winner. Well, with that, guys, thanks for watching. A couple of controversial statements from me there, and if you agree or disagree, let us know down below. Thanks for watching, and yeah, sit back and let the magic of round 4 and the FA Cup begin.